Hello everybody, welcome back to my cooking video, Miss Bobby's Home Cooking. Today I'm going to be making tasty collard greens. I am using these collard greens in a bag because I went to the grocery store and they did not have any good looking collard greens in bunches. They were all dirty, or maybe they just had 2 or 3 in a bunch. That was not good enough. So anyway, I bought this bag and it's pretty good. The greens look good. Only thing is I got to make sure I take out those thick stems. Those can mess up a pot of greens. So I just take my time and go through the whole bag and pick out the thick ones. It takes a minute, but you know, you want your greens to be good. So inside my collard greens, I like to mix mustard greens. Sometimes I like to mix turnip greens, but today I'm going to mix mustard with my collards. I think when I mix mustards and collard greens, it makes them a little softer, not so hard, if you know what I mean. So I got to clean my mustards and like to take out the big stems also, because like I said, those big stems, those thick stems can mess up a pot of greens. So right here in my pot that's 100 years old, I'm going to put my turkey wings in and get them started, get them soft and cooking. Let's look at my turkey wings and see how they look right now. They look good. I like to use the drumettes of the turkey wings. So I'm just about finished with my mustard greens. I did wash these a couple of times. The water is clear. I'm gonna put them in one more time. I like to make sure that there's no dirt and sand at the bottom of my bucket there. And you know, sometimes you can find some bugs floating around there, so we want to make sure we get all that out of the greens. The greens look and feel pretty clean, so I'm going to go ahead and take them out and cut them into bite size, and then go ahead and put them in a pot. Cut them into nice little bite size. You ever eat greens and there's a big chunk of greens on your fork and you're trying to get it into your mouth? It still tastes good, but I just prefer to have them bite size. Okay, pour out my water. I rinse out my dish pan or whatever you call that a couple of times before I put my mustard greens in and wash them. I'll go through it one more time. I see I left a few thick stems. I'm going to take those out. Okay, the greens are looking pretty clean. Give them a little wash here and there. The water is looking clear. It looks clear, so they're got most if not all the dirt out, which is what we're aiming for. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put these greens into our pot. It's a lot of greens, but they're going to cook down to about half a pot or a little less than half a pot. And we'll put our mustard greens in on top of our collard greens. The greens are looking really fresh. The tricky part here is making sure you don't put too much water in, but you put enough water in. So what I like to do is press the greens down to just about where I can see the water level. Then I know that's enough water for the greens. I do not want to add water into the greens later on because it really will mess up the flavor that I worked diligently to get. And these are going to be the seasonings that I like to put in. I like to put in veggies, onions, chop them up real good. I do like a lot of onions in my greens. A lot of people don't like a lot of onions. And then I like to put in my bell peppers, my green bell peppers. I put in about, one medium-sized onion and 3/4 of a bell pepper. And chop them up into nice little size dices. And then also I like to add red bell pepper. Red bell pepper gives it, of course, some beautiful color. And then we also have, bell peppers have a sweet taste to it. And now I like to add peppers. This is a jalapeno peppers. The jalapeno pepper is not hot in the greens. It just gives it a tangy taste. So we'll add our veggies in. I tell you, the pot of greens is looking good already. And then my seasonings I like to add. I'm going to show you. But first let me poke in my turkey wings to get some of the juices flowing through. I like to kind of give them a jab or two. The greens are going to simmer for about 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. So it depends on how well done you like your greens. So the meat is going to get real tender and fall off the bones, and that's what we're looking for. So I like to have my chicken broth, my Johnny seasoned salt, my chili peppers, and this is really good. I like to put in the vinegar part of the chili to give it that zangy taste. Black peppers, plenty of black peppers. And my celery seeds is really good. It adds good flavor, but you have to be real careful not to add too much because it can be very overpowering in a pot of greens. I like to add my garlic powder and then my garlic herb. And 2 pads of butter is optional. Some people don't like to put butter in their greens, that's fine. And then sugar is optional too. I don't like to put sugar in my greens. And then I put in like 3 or 4 chili peppers, garlic and herb, to sprinkle some in, some Johnny seasoned salt, sprinkle some in, a half a teaspoon of celery seeds, my garlic powder, and then of course my garlic herb, and everything is to taste. I don't have any measurements for my greens. It all depends on how I'm feeling that day. Some day I want it to be zesty, some days just more buttery. It all depends. But I will taste my juice to make sure that I have enough salt. And right now I have plenty of salt. I don't need to add anything. I'm just going to let them simmer, let the greens simmer for 2 hours. Then here we have our nice pot of collard greens mixed with mustard. We're ready to plate. Doesn't that look scrumptious? I am going to have my cornbread and my chicken, my buttermilk chicken, on a different video. So check them out. Okay, give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you like this. Like and subscribe. Enjoy.